Hello, welcome to my channel. Today is really special because it is Trinity Stamp's 6th birthday. And to celebrate, there are a couple of hops happening, one here on YouTube and then another over on Instagram. So you can head on over there after you've hopped along with us here on YouTube. And my creation today is featuring the new Pull and Pop box designed by Linda Canassi. And this is a really cool interactive 3D gift box that's good for gift cards or tiny treasures that you might want to give someone. And what I am doing is I have die cut the base of the box, and I am folding all along the score lines. And then I am going to start adhering everything together and assembling the base. So I get my liquid glue. You can also use double-sided tape if you want as well. I generally use liquid glue and it sets up pretty quickly. What I like about liquid glue is it provides a little wiggle room. So if you don't get it lined up exactly right, you can, slide it around a little bit. So I'm just applying a little bit of pressure until it sets. And then I go ahead and I do the same process on the other end, adding my liquid glue. And I'm using a Barely Arts liquid glue. I'm a fan of that one, but you can use whatever one you have at home. And then again, just applying pressure here until it sets. And then you see all those tabs that are still sticking out. I am going to fold those in, but applying, you'll see here, my liquid glue to that tab. And then I fold that in so that it creates a nice sturdy box or rim around edges. And then I do that on all four sides with the liquid glue. And what I like to use for these is a double-sided paper, but if you don't have a double-sided paper, that's completely fine. You want to use something that's a little thicker as well so that it is sturdy. You can also double up and adhere two patterned papers together to create your own double-sided paper. So here I am again, just adding the liquid glue, and you see me here using a little tool to kind of adhere it down, press it down, but you can use your bone folder or whatever you like to use, or whatever you have, you can use that. And now Linda Canassi creates really awesome die sets. She also creates these fabulous 3D interactive dies as well. And here I die cut from the same pattern paper. This is the kind of a cover that goes over the top of the box, and it's got that hole that goes over the top as well, and you'll see why here in a minute. But again, there it is. There's the tab or the piece of paper that will slide up and down to create the 3D effect. And on the larger end, there's two different, at the ends, there are two different size tabs. You want to use the larger tab to adhere to the back of the box. And then that goes right in the center and through that hole. And here I am placing my adhesive on the back, kind of like wrapping paper. You just wrap it around and then adhere it on. And then I'm just pushing it to make sure I have a good firm connection. And then onto that tab I'm placing, that's the smaller of the two tabs, and that goes under the lip of that cover, the front lip. So that will bend up as you open and close your box. And there you have assembled the box. Now there is another die that will create a something you'll see in a few minutes. But here I am, I've created a word die. And this is the new Celebrate Simply Sentiments Celebrate die set. And this is an awesome die set because it has a bunch of different Celebrate in different fonts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different fonts, and it has the shadow dies as well. And there is a coordinating stamp set. And I have cut it out from watercolor paper, and now I am coloring them in colors that kind of match my box. And these are watercolor powders, pigment powders from Lindy's Gang, and they have a shimmer to them, mica in there. Here is Jana's Jade, and I'm using that for the shadow. And then I've spritzed it with water, and then I just spread using a little watercolor brush. I'm just spreading that around. And I don't want it all one color. I want it to have, you know, the pigment has different shades in there. So I don't want it to be just one solid color. I want that effect of having, you know, the different tones and shades in there. So I'm just going to spread all that around. And like I say, these are really great powders with tons of shimmer from Lindy's Gang. And then when I am finished getting that colored up, I will move on. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. And then I pull out the Scripty Celebrate, and I put water on that with a brush, and then I am using Andrea's Azalea to add color to this die cut. And this is a really pretty azalea color and a nice shade of pink. And again, I'm just adding the pigment in, so it's going to have different shades, some lighter than darker, just to give it a little bit of interest. And again, this one has mica in it too, so it's super shiny. And then when I'm happy with that, I set that aside to dry completely. Once everything is dry, I'm using a little tweezers to hold on to it as I add my glue. And then I will adhere that onto the back, or onto the shadow die cut. And then I will be adhering that onto a piece of paper that I cut. And this die, well, there's a die in that pull and pop box set that die cuts this little rectangle out. And I use the same paper, double-sided paper I used previously, and I am adhering my little Celebrate on there. I'm going to add some mint. These are mint embellishments from Trinity Stamps. These hearts are so pretty. And I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue and my little picker from Trinity Stamps as well. And then here to that tab, to that pull tab, I am putting my adhesive, and then I'm going to adhere on that piece of cardstock. And I want a little bit more to it. It's a little bunch of empty spaces, so I am pulling the dies, these heart dies, from the new You Make a Difference die set. It's a coordinating die set that goes with a stamp set called You Make a Difference from Love Danny. And the dice, or the stamp set, says You Make a Difference Every Day. But I just wanted some hearts, so I pulled out that die set, and I'm die cut some hearts. I used some double-sided foam squares, I should say, to pop those off to give them a little bit of dimension. And I also die cut out of pink paper some shadows, some other hearts to add as a offset shadow. And I'm placing those on. And then I am using some rhinestones, these strawberry, I think that's strawberry sparkle rhinestones from Trinity Stamps. And I add a few to the front by my hearts, and that will finish it off. So hop along with us. All the information is down below. Bye-bye.